Hello and greetings from Iceland. It's time to talk about the weather and energy and some scandals due to lack of energy. And since we are there, I might just as well throw in some tourist problems as well. And this video is also a fine excuse to show you some winter footage that I've been shooting recently in North Iceland. But we have been having this coldest winter in Iceland for decades, all over my country. And this is what keeps us warm up north. But from those wells we get 93-degree hot water self-flowing from a depth of 1300 meters. From here it is pumped 10 kilometers to Akureyri into storage tanks before it enters the distribution system. And this snow removal video says a bit about our system. You can see the manholes where the ice has melted, and you often find heated car parks in front of people's houses. But it can be quite hot after its journey through the ovens in the house, and in some cases it gets some extra heat from the water grid, but that's a more expensive option since we pay it by the ton, and the water grid up north had no problems at all to handle the cold this time. The temperature has been around minus 10-15 degrees, sometimes a bit less, sometimes more, and strangely enough it's quite a lot in Iceland since we enjoy the Gulf Stream. And up north, it's just been business as usual, just like in West and East Iceland. We, the country people, know winters, and this one has not been so bad despite the unusual cold. But the amount of snow we have been getting is quite normal. But when we go south, that's another story. Like the south coast, Reykjavík and the Reykjanes Peninsula, it's hardly any snow there usually. Perhaps for a few weeks, but it's more rain than snow usually. And the most unusual part of this winter has been how cold and snowy it has been in Reykjavík. Like shortly before Christmas, the highway between Keflavík International Airport and Reykjavík was more or less closed for 2 days. And as I see it, it was a major scandal. I know that road quite well. I drove it every day for almost a year. And it is the best highway in Iceland with 4 lanes. And there are only a few places there where snow can accumulate. So this closure meant that 1,000 people got stuck at the Keflavík Airport, where the restaurants ran out of food, and Icelandair started to fly between Reykjavík and Keflavík to rescue what could be rescued. But we can't blame this on the road administration for sure. They are getting way too soft. There are of course times when bad visibility makes things hard, but to witness the road closed while the airport was open has never occurred before, and that should say it all. So the damage was in some cases beyond repair or reputation and such. And as for Reykjavík, we got another scandal there, since the city showed us that they are not capable of keeping the streets clean due to a lack of equipment, snow removal equipment. And this clip tells it all. 6 machines working in one street up north in Akureyri, doing a very professional job. The population here is 20,000, and there are days when we see over 20 snow removal machines and trucks doing their job. But as for Reykjavík, with a population of 130,000, they have only 20 machines in total, meaning that it takes them almost a week to do what we do in 2 days up north. The city did, however, blame it on the contractors that didn't show up when they called them, but that answer is not working for me. So this matter isn't over for sure. But the next scandal was perhaps even more serious, or the hot water shortage in the city, so the water grid wasn't up to the task during the cold, and as a result they had to close some swimming pools. And it is the city that owns the energy company, so they have a lot of explaining to do. Many tourists might know this symbol of Reykjavík, the pearl, but it's just a dome sitting on top of the hot water supply tanks, and the city bought 2 of those tanks from their own company to use on their exhibitions. So less water storage in Reykjavík is not helping, and it's not just the hot water that's teasing us now. The complete Reykjanes Peninsula was without power for hours just recently, and there we are into this controversial issue. The thing is that there is this power line that runs along the peninsula. It's getting old, and the energy company wanted a new one just beside the old one, and the project got a green light everywhere, but not in this town. On the middle of the peninsula, we have a small municipality called Vogar, and they said, you are welcome to use underground power cable and dig it through our municipality, but we see no reason to use more pylons there, especially since we might just as well get lava coming down from some of the volcanoes up there that have been teasing us. So the power line has been stuck there for 2-3 years now. And it seems to me that the power company is waiting for some political support to change the laws so they can overrule the decision of the municipality. And to make this even more sarcastic, they do have 2 power plants on the peninsula, but for some reason they seem to be of no use for the local grid. So to top this bummer, the power outage occurred just before the World Cup match in handball, which is our national sport. So this is the Icelandic winter. Cold, but colder than it should be due to not the best politicians on earth. However, I have always said that I'm extremely proud of our clean energy. And I was a kid when my hometown went through the transition from oil to hot water. So I remember nothing else but this clean energy. But when I was working in a little town in Poland a few years back for a week, I remember when the local people came home from work during winter, turned on the heaters, and I had to close my hotel window due to the pollution. I actually love to be in Poland. It's a wonderful country, but this was a major drawback for me, or the smell of diesel, coals, or whatever they used. And since then, I have just been way more grateful for the clean energy that not just keeps us warm, but free from pollution from oil. But modern bureaucracy is often biting us like a frostbite, freezing decisions and projects where we have to move fast. And as for the road administration, we have the same problem there. They are not always overreacting. Like this winter, they reacted too late on a mountain road that connects North and East Iceland. Many cars were destroyed by rocks thrown from the strong wind. And it's been said that some tourists didn't respect the road closure, while others say that they closed the road too late. But I suspect it's a bit of both. And then we had this road closure, 2 days on the Reykjanes Peninsula. I can agree that it needed to be closed for a part of that time, but 2 days is ridiculous. So again, this is systematic failure. And the last story of the day might explain it a bit, but it's about the meteorological office. A while ago, we got this extremely good northern light forecast, making me refresh the weather page very often that day. And according to the weather web, we had clear skies the whole day up north, and it was to stay like that for the whole evening. But the thing was that it was cloudy all that day, and also in the evening. So I went further and checked the satellite images, updated every hour, and I found the reason there. It was some weather system that moved not as predicted. However, no one cared to check and do any corrections. So I sent them a mail in my frustration, asking how come, and how can I trust them to predict the next 12-24 hours if they haven't even got the current weather right. And I'm still waiting for a reply. And this is the tool that the road administration is using, closing roads or keeping them open. And in the case of the Reykjanes Peninsula and the highway to the airport, it was just enough for me to check the webcam to see that they were overreacting. So this is a problem, the human factor. Modern technology, as for weather forecasts, is good, but we always need humans doing their job to have the last word about things. And Iceland is and will always be Iceland. The weather here is and will always be unpredictable up to a limit. However, tomorrow those 6 frozen weeks are over. And today I got the sun straight into my face for almost 3 minutes, I think. And I loved it. But as my car was heating up for today's trip, the windshield cracked big time. Or from a place where it was hit by a small stone on some gravel road last summer. But luckily that was my only frostbite during the last weeks. And I am hoping for milder weeks now, since my frost quota is just about full after this winter. So I hope you enjoyed the images from up north. And when it gets a bit warmer, it will be a bit less risky to fly around with the drone. It's a bit cold for it now. And with that, I'm sending you best regards from the Icelandic winter.